What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, I'm going to ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. So today we're going to be taking a look at a company that, I'll be honest with you, I haven't spent a lot of time investigating. I've seen their equipment before online, never used any of it in person, so everything I see here, my opinions are really just going to be, sort of based off of what I can see on their website and Instagram and stuff. So we're talking about ATX Fitness. They're a German company that make home gym equipment, maybe commercial grade gym equipment. We're gonna hop into it and take a look and see what they have, because there are some interesting pieces of equipment that I actually have an interest in, so we could take a look at those. We're gonna start out on their website, and just from the get-go, let's click here, all products, and take a look. Now, I usually reserve my opinions on Smith racks in general, because I don't use racks in my home gym except for my squat stands I use. Low ceilings, I just can't get them to work, so it's not fair for me to try to give an opinion on stuff I just don't have good experience with. So we're gonna skip that, but we have a $5,000, looks like USD price here for their multi-pole Smith rack. But moving on from that, this is actually one of the pieces here that I have an interest in, and this is their standing chest press. I've been going back and forth with a lot of pieces of gym equipment, wanting, some sort of chest press that's either like a seated or this is standing. So this is pretty cool. $12.99 coming in here. There's some brands that have similar pieces of equipment. $12.99 seems like actually a pretty decent entry to something like this. Again, I haven't used any of their equipment, so it's hard for me to talk about the quality compared to the price. But when you have like Gronk, with similar price points to this, let's take a look here. It'd be cool if like GMWD had something like this. Let's see, go through some of the pictures. Okay, so we have a band pegs down here. It looks like weight loading in the back. Articulating handles, that's cool. So you could raise the height, and you could also turn the handle here depending how you want to do the press. Okay, let's keep going. Looks like a solid construction. Again, I don't know where these pictures are being generated from, so let's see. So it's interesting with that band peg on the bottom. It actually looks pretty cool. That, to be honest with you, some good amount of thought went into that design. If you take a look here at how it attaches, that's pretty cool. And then the weights are loaded in the back. And interesting, it's not a flat back pad. It's sort of curved. So this is one cool piece of equipment that I actually have some interest in. So this is something I'm going to keep looking into. But let's go back and keep looking here. This one is interesting too, $5.99. It looks very similar to a piece of equipment that Mikolo, GMWD, Syenergee, I think HVO is the other one, have something that's somewhat similar in how this arm loads. But then the rest of the machine itself looks different. It looks like there's adjustability on that back pad. You can, use it as a preacher curl with an easy curl bar or a regular bar. Let's see, it's pretty cool. Pad looks okay, hard to tell from a picture obviously, so can't really judge based off of that. I'm curious where these are being built compared to like the other versions that look similar, like I mentioned, the GMWD, Mikolo, stuff like that. So they have a leg press hack squat here, $31.99. Not so sure about that. Now these are cool. They have a compact belt squat and also a standard belt squat. $11.99 for the compact, $25.99 for the standard. I'm gonna look at the compact one because we're talking about a more reasonable price here at the $11.99, which I think is something most of us are looking at when we look at belt squats, right? So interestingly enough, let's see here. So when the arm is up, see, this is something I like about this design compared to the GMWD I have. When it's in the up position, the hook is in the back, so it's away from you. And when you're gonna go into the down position, I assume that the arm comes towards you. which is going to give you better balance compared to what you get with the GMWD. It's one of the only things with that compact belt squat from GMWD that I have any real qualms with, because you've seen in my videos that it's an awkward leaning that you have to do when the arm is forward, and then you have to move it back and then forward again so it clears the hook. So that's a pretty cool design. The only thing here is that you have 2 hooks, so there isn't a lot of adjustability on the attachment position, but then you could sort of work on that depending on what kind of belt you're using, because you can change which loop you're using, like on the pillow belt. And overall, it's probably a little more sturdy or strong compared to the adjustable one that's on the GMWD. So pretty cool design. I think it's weird that there's no weight storage. So that's something that I would think that you'd want to put for some sort of counterbalance. But again, I've never used it, so I could be completely off with that. Compact leg press, I've never really used any of these. I have no desire to. This I thought was cool. So this is their lever arm multi-press, which looks very similar to the 3-in-1 GMWD that I did the review on the other day. But instead of having that sort of cross design in the back that the GMWD has, it has just lever arms, which should feel more like a traditional press. It looks like the adjustments are very different as well. So it's sort of that bench position looks to be the only thing that really is similar, although you can get a decline on this and it looks far more robust. And again, $11.99 price point isn't absolutely horrible if it's something that's, you know, overbuilt or built better than what you get for like that $600, you know, I don't have the price in front of me, but we'll say $500-600 price on the GMWD. So, and you're getting a more traditional bench press feeling. So this is really cool. This is something I'd like to try. Let's see. Supports up to 550 pounds, heavy duty construction, reinforced frame. This is cool. Like, I mean, even just looking at this stuff, it's hard to tell from a picture. I mean, it looks robust, right? It looks like it's something that's going to be of high quality. If any of you guys have used these pieces of equipment, I'd love to hear your feedback, because this is something that I would definitely be interested in. Oh, okay. So it looks like the height of the arms is controlled by, is that a long pin that goes in between? That's interesting. If I'm wrong there, I'm sorry, but that's what that looks like to me. Ball bearing mounted, integrated stop-start limiter. All right, and the fact that you can do decline with it is another benefit that you can't get out of the other machines like the GMWD. So, okay, I'm gonna skip over these. I can't use these in my gym, they're too tall. Here's a couple, well, 2 interesting ones specifically. I'm curious about this because the design looks very similar to the Syenergee GMWD Mikolo one that I already have. Is there anything in this design that's glaringly different than what I already have? And is the difference between the two machines, oh, they added a band peg. Okay, that's cool. That's one thing that's different. Now, is the difference between what I have now and this purely a build quality difference? Is that what it is? I don't know where they're making these machines, so it's hard for me to you know, sort of comment specifically, because not that we don't know country of origin, but I don't know the factory compared to the others. It certainly looks like it's very nice the way that it's made. I mean, this roller system isn't different inherently than what's on the current one, so it's hard for me to comment. But this is something I definitely would be interested in checking out. Now, given this is $1,000, if it's not a huge difference in terms of the build quality, is it worth stepping up to something like this compared to the GMWD, Syenergee, Mikolo type units that are out there now, or even if you Titan Fitness, right? If you're going to the Titan, you're probably getting closer to this price range. So, you know, that maybe give you more of a question as to what to go with. But I'd be really curious to know what this feels like compared to the units that are on the market now, including the one that I have here at home. Now, here's the last one that I wanted to look at as well, which is their pendulum squat. So this looks really cool. You know, we talked about the pendulum squat last time. We have the GMWD one that I have. We looked at the bells of steel. This looks like a really cool pendulum squat. Let's see, we got a lot of band pegs, it looks like, at the bottom. Wide foot plate, counterbalance. Let's see, 2 hooks it looks like, and then 1 weight peg, which is an interesting design to see the 1. I'm wondering, and can that foot plate be adjusted? Or is that just a static foot plate? If that's a static foot plate, it's a little disappointing because I do think they should be able to adjust the foot plate. ATX Premium Squat is a premium lower body training machine with a long-standing reputation. Critical to its functions, the idea of angling between the foot plate and the backrest, along with precisely engineered lever arms with dual roller band. Ideal angling. Okay, so are they telling us what the ideal angle is? That's what it looks like, unless I'm completely wrong. I'd have to go back and look. But it looks like that foot plate cannot be adjusted. So I reserve an opinion on that because I haven't used the machine. Maybe I'm wrong. I think Massonomics has a video with this machine from a couple months ago that I haven't taken the time to really go back and look, but I did see it existed. So I'd like to go back and see what, you know, what they tell us about this and what the quality of this machine is like before. The back pad's really nice, really big and wide. You know, and wide isn't necessarily what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of depth in the pad, so you know, you don't have to worry about your back. The problem with the GMWD, or not a problem necessarily, but it has a short back pad relative to going all the way down to support the bottom of your back. So that's something to keep in mind. So $2,000 price point. I mean, it's over double what the price is for the GMWD, but less expensive than like the Temple of Gainz and the other ones that are out there. If you're looking at the Bells of Steel, which is over $1,000, is around $1,200, you're getting closer to this price that you may ultimately want to spend that money. I don't know. But this one's really cool. This is a cool machine. German engineering quality product. All right, so this is really cool. This is something I really want to see more from ATX. I want to see hand-on reviews. I'd love to get my hands on some of them, and there are a couple here actually that, and I'm not going to talk about this. There's a couple here that I'm going to be looking at and maybe purchasing at some point. Specifically, the standing chest press, maybe the pec fly if it's an improved version of what I have already. That chest press, when I say chest press, there's the standing one that I think is really cool. And there's also, you know, that lever arm one that I think is really cool because it expands upon basically what the GMD one is that I already have. Now, I've been using that GMWD in all my workouts for my shoulder and chest days, and I've been enjoying it. It's a great machine. So I'm really curious to see the comparison. Now, these all have reviews on them already, right? You see that. People, I guess, outside of the United States are giving reviews on these. I'm hesitant to endorse anyone's reviews on here without me being able to try it myself or anything. So I'm not sure it makes sense for me to go into those reviews. They have a seal row, pretty cool. For what a steel row bench really is, I'm not sure I would spend that much for something like this, but it does look very well built. Same thing with this seated leg extension. What's going on with this? Okay, pendulum arm. I'm not crazy about this. Not sure I would spend $1,200 on it, but haven't used any of it. So if you guys have any questions, if you have experience with ATX, I'd love to hear what you think. Make sure you drop some comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe. And like I said, when this stuff becomes available, some of it I may actually end up purchasing to try out for myself. So let me know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next one.